Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to January 2025, our first Cerritos Property Preservation Committee's meeting. I will now call the meeting to order. Commissioner Spitzer, will you lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand if you're able and join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll have our roll call for the meeting.
Commissioner Vasan?
Yes.
Commissioner Gentalumo?
Present.
Commissioner Spitzer?
Here.
Vice Chair Chokshi?
Here.
Chairperson Young?
Here. At this time, I'll open the floor for public comments. If anyone's here for matters that are not on the agenda for tonight, please step forward. If your item is on the meeting minutes, then you may wait until your case is called. So not seeing anyone for the public comments session. Okay. Hello. State your name, please.
Adrian Ayub.
Okay. And what do you want to speak on at this time?
I just want to speak on, just as a realtor, I'm always in the neighborhoods, in the communities, and I've spoken with many residents, and they're concerned that Cerritos has essentially turned into a big HOA, albeit without security. As we know, the burglaries on the rise, that's a concern of everyone. And I noticed that with the strict requirements for property maintenance, it essentially drives homeowners to exclusively employing undocumented immigrants. And I never see any of the Latino, as a Latino resident, I never see Latino residents of Cerritos getting the jobs. So I just pose to you, I've been at many other, I've seen other cases. One individual who was like a marine biologist from UCLA and developed a species of flora, they got on him. Everyone that has come here has won the case, and they're very educated. Some homes don't get cited at all. So that's just what I want to comment on, is the city has become like an HOA, albeit without security, because we have our burglaries on the rise. And all the work is taken by undocumented immigrants in the neighborhoods. I see it in my community and in all the ones that I go to. So, and our crime is up. And the job opportunities for Latinas, which are at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder in Cerritos, are down. So I'm just posing that out to you. Why not give the jobs, or make it so that the residents of Cerritos can get the jobs, not just the illegals?
Thank you. I have a question for you. You could stay at the podium. So the allegation that you're making that all the jobs,
No,
which
not
means
all the jobs.
all the jobs,
Not
you
all
just
the jobs.
stated. Okay. All right, then should I say most jobs?
Yeah,
Or,
I'd
okay,
say
most
the
jobs
majority, yeah.
that are given by the city. Is that what you're referring
No,
to?
I mean the homeowners, because they have to constantly maintain the property to strict conditions in the landscaping, everything, and people get cited and fined.
Okay, so your allegation is that the owners here in Cerritos, they are
My
hiring.
is that the city's been turned into an HOA, and people paying $2,500 to park their car outside the house. It's just, I know there was realtors that got into the city council, and some people said it made it this way. So I'm just, like I said, I'm an outsider. I'm not, I'm not in any committees. I haven't been on a council. It's just from talking to residents who are concerned about being fined, cases being heard here, individuals who feel they were unfairly, cited, or, and just we also have, a big rise in home burglaries, and there's a lot of people in neighborhoods. Sometimes they don't even get to work. Some people feel that there is, scouting being done.
Okay, So, if you're making the allegation that the homeowners are hiring illegal aliens to do the job, that's not something that we can control from our commission. Secondly, uh, I would like you to stick around for this meeting to see what type of process that we go through in order for us to
Like I
actually
said, I'm an
cite the
outsider to this. I'm
residents.
just talking
Exactly.
to
Yeah,
the-
you are an
and some have said
outsider,
that.
and perhaps everything is hearsay as to what you're telling us right now.
No,
that you haven't got-
I'm a realtor. I'm
Sir,
talking to all the
so
people.
you've had your time, and I'll give you
Okay,
more
all
time
right,
to
that's fine.
speak if you like. And we do go through a long process before we actually find any of our home residents, homeowners. There's a whole lot of process we go through as far as trying to contact the homeowners. After so many months, even close to a year, if we cannot get anything done, then finally we work with the homeowners to rectify whatever the problem is. Even at that time, fine is very far off. Finding that you're talking about is perhaps a couple of $100. It's very minimal in order for us to work with the homeowner to get the problem resolved, not in any way for us to make any money. In fact, in order for us to file anything with the court and work with our city attorney is taking up a lot more cost than having us to find the homeowners. So this allegation you're making is baseless, in my opinion. And if you feel that our code enforcers or the city is doing something that is unreasonable and that we're not taking precautionary measures before we even contact the homeowners to trying to do anything, then I would really request you to stick around for the meeting and hear what we have to say. Thank you. Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Anything from the staff? All right. Is anyone else here for any items to speak on other than meeting? Okay. Well. Okay. So if there aren't anyone else to speak on any other matters other than the items on the agenda, then I will now close the public comments hearing section. All right. Before we go on to the public hearings, we are going to review and consider an information update on the upcoming Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, Cerritos General Municipal Election.
And that'll be from our city clerk representative, Kim Dobson.
Thank you, Ms. Artema. Good evening, Chair and members of the Property Preservation Commission. Thank you for allowing me to provide a brief update this evening on the Tuesday, March 4th, 2025 Cerritos General Municipal Election. I will also provide information regarding an additional upcoming voting period for the state Senate election. If you would turn your attention to the screen. In the Cerritos General Municipal Election, Cerritos voters will have the opportunity to vote for 3 members of the City Council and on 2 charter amendment ballot measures. The City Charter may only be amended by a vote of the people. Both the City Council and Cerritos voters have the power to place measures on the ballot. Measure J on the March 4th ballot relates to the setting of the city's general municipal election date in the city's charter. If Cerritos voters approve Measure J, the election date would be set to remain as the first Tuesday after the first Monday in March of odd-numbered years. Along with this amendment are other conforming amendments set by this measure, including the setting of the commencement date of the city council terms as the second Tuesday of April, beginning with the 2027 election, and the setting of the date of the annual mayoral transition as the second Tuesday of April, beginning in 2026. Measure K relates to a general cleanup charter amendment. Spelling and grammatical errors would be corrected, and the charter document would be updated to reflect modern business practices, such as authorizing the city manager to appoint the city treasurer. Recently, the state declared a vacancy on State Senate District 36 when Senator Janet Nguyen ran for and won a seat on the Orange County Board of Supervisors. This created the need for the state to call a special election to fill this seat, scheduled for Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Ballots were mailed to active Cerritos registered voters beginning on January 27th. Ballots will be mailed for the Cerritos general municipal election beginning on February 3rd. Voting for each election ends at 8 p.m. on Election Day. Because Cerritos voters will have access to 2 different ballots at the same time, those who opt to vote by mail or by use of the vote by mail drop boxes should be mindful of which ballot they are placing into which envelope. Based on current voter registration and population data, we can say that the majority of those eligible to vote in Cerritos are already registered. To verify if you are registered to vote, visit lavote.gov. Those aged 16 and 17 may also pre-register to vote online. The registration deadlines to receive a vote-by-mail ballot for both elections are listed on the screen. It is important to note, no voter for either election will be turned away on Election Day. For the state Senate election, the county will offer conditional voter registration at the in-person voting location. For the city's municipal election, traditional provisional ballots will be provided in the event a voter is not found in our voter database. Voters in either situation will be provided a ballot, and their vote will be counted at the appropriate time, subject to the appropriate verification. A side-by-side comparison of voting options for both upcoming elections is provided on the screen. The county is set to conduct in-person voting for the state Senate election at Don Canabe Regional Park for 11 days, from February 15th through the 25th. On the state Senate election day only, February 25th, the Way Out Ministries in Hawaiian Gardens is also scheduled to be open for in-person voting. For updated information on the open vote centers for this election, we encourage the public to visit lavote.gov or to contact our office. Although the city's election is being conducted as an all-mail election, for those who prefer to vote in person, we will be open for a total of 23 days, beginning during regular business hours, Monday, February 3rd, through Friday, February 28th, in the city clerk's office on the first floor of City Hall. We are also offering weekend voting, Saturday and Sunday, March 1st and 2nd, in the City Hall main lobby from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will then continue in the main lobby on Monday, March 3rd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on Election Day, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voters opting to vote in person for the city election are encouraged to bring with them their Cerritos vote-by-mail ballot and return envelope. For both elections, vote-by-mail drop boxes will be open 24 hours a day at the Cerritos Civic Center and Cerritos Park East up until 8 p.m. on Election Day. Lastly, voters may mail ballots for both elections free of charge. Ballots must be postmarked by the respective election day and received by the appropriate agency within 7 days after the election. Again, voters opting to vote by mail or use a drop box should be mindful of placing the ballots in their respective envelopes. Remember to place your single race ballot in the county envelope and your city ballot with votes for Cerritos Council and ballot measures in the city envelope. Our office has been and will continue to work to keep Cerritos voters informed. Aside from providing regular updates at each council meeting, we've placed information on the city's website and have been working with our wonderful communications division to provide regular updates on the city's social media outlets and on TV3. We will also be providing updates at each of the city's upcoming commission and committee meetings, and will be attending upcoming city events, such as the Festival of Friendship. We have also sent postcards to over 14,000 Cerritos voter households and have provided updates in the Cerritos Community News. Sample ballots were mailed out on January 23rd, but you don't have to wait for the mail. The official sample ballot and voter information guide for the city's upcoming election has been available on the city's website in 7 different languages since January 8th. The Office of the City Clerk is available for assistance Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We look to all of the city's commissions and committees as ambassadors to help spread the word and keep the public informed. On behalf of the City Clerk's office, thank you to the Commission for being our ambassadors and for allowing us this opportunity to present this update. This concludes my presentation, and I am available to answer any questions the Commission may have. It is recommended the Commission open public comment for this item and receive and file this report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes. A few. So there will be, I'm just talking about the city election, on-site, like if somebody wants to vote in person with their ballot, there will be an actual machine at City Hall for somebody to utilize.
We don't have the voter machines that you might be thinking of,
Okay.
but we do have voting booths, and we will have a space available for voters to come in and bring their ballot and vote in person, and then hand it directly to one of our staff.
How do they vote if you don't have the machine? How are they going to mark their ballots? That's what I'm getting at.
You can just mark it with a pen, and
Oh,
then put
really?
it back in the envelope, and then seal the envelope and sign the outside, and then hand it to staff.
Okay, I was told that wasn't going to be, well, I actually, what I was told was there aren't going to be any of those machines. So that is accurate. But if somebody walks in, now what if they walk in on any of the times that you're open and they didn't bring in their, I call it absentee, vote by mail ballot?
Yeah, sure. We would be able to look them up in our system
Okay.
and print them out another ballot once we were able to look into the system and verify that they haven't already voted. And then we would be able to issue them a new ballot.
Okay, that's good. That's a great clarification. And then the other thing, you mentioned that the city sample ballots were sent out on the 23rd.
Yes.
Were they all sent out, or are they being sent out in bunches?
They were all sent out on the 23rd.
Okay, we have not received ours at our house.
Okay. We can certainly look into with the postmaster to see those deliveries.
Right.
You might also want to give it a few more days. I'm not sure how long it's taking to deliver to some people, and that information is also, as I mentioned, available online.
Okay, because the one for this state unexpired state Senate seat, which is a week before ours, so we're sort of tracking. We got that sample ballot 10 days to 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And we're supposed to be getting our actual ballot. We got that thing about ballot track stuff. Does the city have something like that? When you return, like say, I tend to use the drop box out here. So I vote, husband and I vote, we put our things in the drop box, and would we be notified that they've been received by the city? Is there any way to sign up for that, just like we have with the county?
That's something I'll definitely pass that question past our city clerk, and she can reach out to you with that. I'm not sure of what different programs the city is using, and I know that the city is working together with the county for several different options. So I will definitely look into that and have the city clerk reach out to you for that.
Okay, so as of right now, the answer is an unknown. Just because we're signed up to get this from the county. In fact, I just automatically got that from the county yesterday. I wasn't expecting it necessarily because I hadn't sent, when we send our stuff in, then yes, they acknowledge that we have received it. And it's usually within 24 hours.
Yeah,
of it.
unfortunately, off the top of my head, I'm not sure of that. So I'll definitely look into that to get you
Because it's sort of
yeah.
for people not to know about these things if they're used to having that ballot tracker thing with things that are handled and processed
Yeah.
by the county, but the city has chosen not to have the county handle and process.
Unfortunately,
the
I just don't
election.
have that information in front of me, but that's something that the city clerk is definitely
Okay,
able
and
to
then I
talk
have
with you.
one, okay. The other question, which I'm not sure you'll have the answer to, the county is always, even when the city runs their own election, and this goes way, way back to the punch cards and all of that, that somebody from the county, from Registrar Recorder's Office, comes, and I remember we used to sit in here, and they had that kind of, the machine that counted the cards, I refer to them as IBM cards, 5081s. Used to work for them. So the only way, the county still had to do the counting in order to verify the results. Will that also be done this time? Will there be somebody someplace, whether it's here, I would assume it's here and not at the offices on Norwalk,
to count the ballots?
Yes, all of the counting will be done here at the city.
Okay.
And that is another great question for the city clerk. I don't have that information right now
Sure.
in front of me, but that's another question that the city clerk would be happy to walk you through the whole process of how the ballots will be counted.
Okay. You can tell I've been around for a while and been involved in a whole lot of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. We're the old timers here.
Thank you. Moving on to public hearings. Did we say we're starting with 7C? Okay, so we'll start with 7A. Okay, 7C first. I apologize. All right, so we'll start with item 7C. 7C. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission. Conditions constituting property nuisance, including lack of adequate ground cover, a lack of landscape maintenance, grown vegetation, dead vegetation, structure exteriors in need of repair and paint, and is in an unsightly condition as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code Chapter 6.20, exists at the property located at the address 11215 Carolyn Place, Cerritos. Oh, sorry, that was 7A. Okay, the address is 12131 Smoky Lane, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
Yes, that is my case, and I will brief you on it. Chair and members of the commission, on July 15th of 2024, I inspected the subject property, observing a lack of adequate ground cover on the front yard, parkways, and planters, and the wood beams and trim on the home in need of repair and paint. On July 16th, a notification was mailed to the property owner providing 30 days to abate the violation or contact staff with a time frame. From August 19th through January 3rd, 5 additional notices were mailed with the additional observations of dead vegetation, a lack of landscape maintenance, overgrown vegetation, and pavers along the west side of the driveway in disrepair. The property was posted for public hearing on January 14th, and a man in a van parked in front of the property came out and took the notice and told me that he was the property owner's son and that his father is older and he plans to help him. That was as he was walking the notice to the front door with no further details. An inspection of the property today revealed no compliance or progress. Staff does recommend that a resolution be adopted on this property. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I do believe someone is here to speak.
Thank you. Before we go to the person who's here to speak, any comments or questions from commissioners? All right. I'll open the floor for anyone who's here on this item, 7C. Please state your name, and you're given 3 minutes, sir.
And here we go. My name is Brian Verbeck, and yes, I am the gentleman who was in the van, moved the sign, and took care of that, and had a conversation. So, in a nutshell, we can go in details other than that. I'll be helping my father work on this and resolve the issues over the next several months. So that's the nutshell. Details for you is my father's been here, well, we've all had this property since the early 70s. My father's in his 80s. He doesn't move very well. I relocated from heaven and moved from Colorado to here, whatever you want to call here. I appreciate the break in weather for today. That was great. But yes, over the next foreseeable future, I'll be living here with my father. And yes, amongst many other things I'll be working on with him, including his health. Yeah, the front yard will be, it's on the list. I know that, I guess it was reviewed today. I did do a little bit since our discussion on the 17th. However, there's quite a bit, so it's tough to see. And you're all familiar with Bird of Paradise. You can prune that one day and it's grown quite a bit the next day. So there's quite a bit to adjust. But yeah, the plan is to clean that up and restore the landscape to, I won't say that I'm going to do a manicured 1980s style, let's put some turf in there and great, because water is a big issue in Southern California and has been. So it'll be a more xeriscape flavor, and I suspect it'll be approved by the city when I present whatever I need to present to them for that. But yeah, the intent is not to put in a sod lawn of any kind or any turf grass or anything like that. So whether it be Bermuda or fescue or anything like that, it's not going to happen. But I don't think that's what we're talking about. We're just talking about making, improving the front yard and maintaining the value of the home and all the other pieces that go with that. So I'm not going to babble for 30 seconds. So
Thank you so much.
Great.
And that's all we're asking for. We're asking our residents to work with us
Sure.
to get this done for the value of the property and for the
Well,
value of the city
that's
as
a part
well.
of it, sure.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And anyone has questions or comments?
Yes, if you are planning to do something like a xeriscape, be sure, because that'll be different from what you have, which is okay as long as it meets the city
What we have
code.
is pretty xeriscape, actually.
Okay, well, when I went and looked at it the other morning, and
Sure.
it needed a lot of work, of
It
course.
does.
But if you're,
But the definition of xeriscape is,
well, you need
Go
to
ahead.
make sure what you're doing goes with the city code as to how much has to actually be turf, how much can be drought tolerant plants of the percentage of your front yard. So you need to go to the community development department, a little sketch.
Sure,
It
they've
doesn't
got
have
a
to be anything
documentation for
formal.
that. You bet.
And showing in the dimensions and, I would like to do this here and this there. And then they'll say, yeah, that's fine. And they'll stamp it or sign it off or whatever.
Sure. And just for the record, I've also already reached out to 811, so I know where I can dig and do things there. So we're set there.
All right. Thank you so much. Do you have anything further?
Not unless you had any questions.
No, I think we're good. Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you. Staff recommendation, please.
Before you tonight is resolution number PPC 2025-03, a resolution of the the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission finding that the property located at the 12,100 block of Smoky Lane constitutes a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.2 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 30-day abatement period thereon. It would be in order to waive further reading and adopt.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt? So moved. Thank you. Roll call vote, please. Oh,
See if these work.
electronic vote.
Oh, finally it's working.
Yay.
5-0, the motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7A. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission, conditions constituting property nuisance, including lack of adequate ground cover and dead vegetation as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code Chapter 6.20, exist at the property located at 11215 Caroline Place, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
Yes, that is my case, and I will brief you on it. Chair and members of the commission, on June 27th, 2024, I inspected the subject property, observing a lack of adequate live vegetation ground cover. On July 1st, a notification was mailed to the property owner advising of the code violation and providing 30 days to abate the violation or contact staff. From August 8th through January 3rd of 2025, 4 additional notifications were mailed with the additional observation of excessive dead leaves covering the front of the property. The property was posted for public hearing on January 14th, and an inspection today revealed a couple squares of sod laid on a very small portion of the front yard only, and there has been no contact from the property owner. Staff does recommend that a resolution be adopted on this property to ensure compliance. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I understand someone is here to speak.
Yes. Before that, any comments or questions from commissioners?
No.
All right. If anyone is here on this item, please come up to the podium and you'll be given 3 minutes.
My name
Hello.
is Nancy Namba. I live at the said address. For the dead vegetation, that was when we had that really cold snap and everything fell off the tree and we were all sick. So there's no one, we didn't get, and it was just what, a week and a half worth of leaves
Oh, you can't hear. Can you speak closer to the mic?
down. Can you hear me now? So that normally doesn't happen. It was just the weather getting really cold. Everything fell down. We were all sick, and we're still sick. The easement does have grass. The main part of our yard doesn't because we've never had our city tree never get this big. Normally it gets cut down and they put in a new tree, and we don't really get any light in that area. So the grass does start to grow, and then it dies because it doesn't get enough sunlight. And then we've had ground cover before, and it's creeped into the grass area, and same with that. It'll grow, and then all of a sudden, it dies because we've never had the tree this big. Because it literally will cover from the sidewalk up until we have these little brick areas that line the house. And so nothing has really grown unless we excessively water, which, we don't want to do because we've got 5 people in the house and our water bill would be excessive. But we've been trying different things. We did put the sod off to the side because that is one area that does get sun right now. And then my son-in-law put down seed everywhere else, so we're hoping that might take hold. But unless the tree gets cut back or taken out, it will never fully have a grassed-in area in the front yard. And it's a small area. It's from the sidewalk to the decorative poles. It's about 8 to 10 feet. So, when that thing shades over, it just covers our whole front yard. And I've lived there since the 70s, and I've never seen it this big, our tree. Because usually it gets to be about this big, and they cut it down. We've always just had a small tree in front. And if you look at our neighbors, they've got grass. Just 2 neighbors have trees, and some have somewhat of grass. But everybody else who have grass in front of their house have no trees. We're the ones with the biggest tree, so we don't.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a response for her from the city staff?
With the grass seed, that does require extra watering, usually a couple times a day for the seed to root into
My
that front lawn.
son-in-law got something. He and my daughter have been.
Yeah. So that's something to be aware of. With the trees, we do have entire cul-de-sacs with canopies of trees, but people still are able to maintain grass in the front.
It's just the way our yard's positioned. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like that dirt is pretty compacted in because nothing's happened with it in a while, so it may need some extra nutrients in there.
Okay.
To help with the grass seed and everything. And also usually grass seed, they do put some topper on there so that the birds don't get to the seed as well.
Got the green stuff, whatever. My son-in-law's like, he wanted, we started off with the sod off the side. He said, no, we were going to try for the green. And I'm like, I'm not going to have an argument in the house.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you coming out. I hope you feel better soon.
Me too.
We definitely work with you to see what resolution could be had to grow some grass in that area.
Yeah, because the tree's gotten really big where the sidewalk has come up by about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
And just so you know, if you contact us at any time, we'll work with you. One of the reasons that it is here today is we've had no contact. We don't know what was going on, what your guys' plan was. There was no action until the property was posted.
Okay.
And we haven't heard anything. But if you contact me and let me know what's going on, the resolution is for 21 days. So we do re-inspect after that time. If you guys need more time, give me a call, let me know.
Okay, so your number would be which one on?
It's on all the documents that were sent to you, all
Okay.
the notifications.
The code enforcement number?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, but
Yeah, the tree's really big, so it's a new situation for me where I've always used to having a smaller tree and then having sunlight hit the front of the yard.
By any chance, do you guys have sprinklers out there?
In the middle, except the kids, not our kids, but like the high school kids have knocked off the edges because we live right across the street from GAR. And they walk, they're high school kids.
Got it. But we'd be happy to work with you. Yeah, we just have had no contact, so
Okay.
that's one of the reasons we're here today.
Right. And I want to remind all of our residents that even if we move to adopt the resolution, that's not the final judgment kind of thing. We still have time to resolve.
Okay.
And if you need further time, then as our officer had just mentioned, you'll be given more time to resolve the issues. All right. All right. Thank you so much. I will now close the public hearing session on this item. Staff recommendation, please.
Madam Chair, before you is resolution number PPC 2025-01, a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission finding that the property located at the 11,200 block of Carolyn Place constitute a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 21-day abatement period thereon. It would be in order to waive further reading and adopt.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a second? Thank you.
Five zero, the motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to 7B. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission, conditions constituting property nuisance, including lack of adequate ground cover and dead vegetation as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code Chapter 6.20, exist at the property located at 10939 Roverta Street, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
Madam Chair, that is my case again, and I will brief you on it. Chair and members of the commission, on August 23rd of 2024, I inspected the subject property observing the front yard and parkway with dying brown ground cover. The same day, a notification was left at the property providing 21 days to abate the violation or contact staff. An inspection on September 25th revealed a lack of adequate ground cover and dead vegetation on the front yard and parkway, and a second notification was mailed. From October 25th through January 3rd of 2025, 2 more notifications were mailed with no contact from the property owner. The property was posted for public hearing on January 14th, and the property owner happened to be standing across the street. I spoke with him when he came over to read the notice, and he explained that the sprinklers have been broken and that he was working with his gardener to fix the situation. On January 20th, the property owner called me and advised that he bought new seed and parts for his sprinklers, but his gardener was in the hospital at the moment. An inspection of the property today revealed no compliance. Staff does recommend a resolution be adopted on this property to ensure compliance. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, if anyone's here on this item, please step forward. Since there isn't anyone on this item, I will close the public hearing session for this item. Staff recommendation, please.
Yes, before you is resolution number PPC 2025-02, a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission finding that the property located at the 10,900 block of Roberta Street constitutes a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 21-day abatement period thereon. It would be in order to waive further reading and adopt.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you.
I had touched it.
5-0, the motion passes.
Thank you. All right, moving on to 7D.
Commissioner, tell her to read from here.
Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission. Conditions constituting property nuisance, including lack of landscape maintenance and a lack of live vegetation ground cover as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code, Chapter 6.20, exist at the property located at 12646 Beach Street, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
Yes, that is Officer Lane's case, and he will brief you on it.
Chair and members of the commission. On August 2nd, 2024, staff inspected a property in the 12600 block of Beach Street, observing a lack of landscape maintenance and a lack of ground cover on the front yard and the parkways. On August 2nd, 2024, a notification was left at the property providing 7 days to provide landscape maintenance and 21 days to abate the remaining violations. The following information documents the action taken to abate the violations. On August 2nd, 2024, after receiving the notice, the tenant contacted staff and staff advised them of the violations. Inspections between September 4th, 2024 and January 7th, 2025 revealed no compliance. 3 additional notifications were mailed to the owner and the tenant. The letters mailed to the owner were returned undeliverable by the post office. On January 14th, 2025, the property was posted for PPC. An inspection today revealed no compliance and there has been no further contact from the tenant or the owner. Staff recommendation on this property is to adopt a resolution to ensure compliance. This completes my report and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from commissioners?
Quick question on seeing how many times the post office returned the notifications. What does the city or what can the city do about that?
You know, we have no other address for the owner on file. When I had spoken to the tenant the first time when they contacted me, I advised them to let the owner know of the notice, and I have not heard from them since then, but we have no other way of contacting the owner at this time. The only address that we have on file, those letters are getting returned.
Okay, so the address that's on file is through the water billing, is that correct?
The address on file is actually that property's address, which the owner is still listed there. However, they have rented the property out and have not listed another forwarding address, it appears.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll open this time for public hearing. Not seeing anyone on this item, I'll close public hearing. Staff recommendation, please.
Before you is resolution number PPC 2025-04, a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission finding that the property located at the 12,600 block of Beach Street constitutes a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code and setting forth a 21-day abatement period thereon. It would be in order to waive further reading and adopt.
Is there a motion? Motion to adopt? Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Five zero, the motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to 7E. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission. Conditions constituting property nuisance, including structure exteriors in need of repair and paint, and a vehicle parked in an unapproved area as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code, Chapter 6.20, exist at the property located at 17400 block of Martha Avenue, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
Yes, that is Officer Lane's case, and he will brief you on it.
Chair and members of the commission. On the posting date, work had started on the painting of the wood siding, and after posting the property, the owner contacted staff and stated they planned on having the painting complete and the vehicle removed from the area north of the driveway in the near future. An inspection today revealed the vehicle removed from the area north of the driveway and the painting of the wood trim and siding complete. Therefore, staff recommendation on this property is to not adopt a resolution.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this? Nope. Then we'll move on to the next item. 7F. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission. Conditions constituting property nuisance, including structure exteriors in need of repair and paint as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code Chapter 6.20, exist at the property located at 13100 block of Essex Drive, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
Yes, that is Officer Jerry's case, and he will brief you on it.
Chair and members of the commission, on August 14th, 2024, staff inspected subject property, observing several areas of the wood trim of the property in disrepair in need of paint or repair. A notification was left at the property providing 30 days to remedy the violation. September 8th, 2024, an inspection of the property revealed no compliance with the second notification being mailed, as well as October 14th, 2024, an inspection with no compliance with another notification being mailed, as well as November 30th and December 30th, with inspections revealing no compliance, and then the property being posted for PPC January 14th. As of today, there still was no compliance. Staff does recommend a resolution to assure compliance. This completes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments from commissioners? If there is anyone on this item, please step forward. If not, I will close the public hearing session of this case. Staff recommendation, please.
Before you is resolution number PPC 2025-06, a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission finding that the property located at the 13,100 block of Essex Drive constitutes a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code and setting forth a 30-day abatement period thereon. It would be in order to waive further reading and adopt.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. Thank you.
Four zero, the motion passes. 4-1, the motion passes. Apologies.
Thank you. Thank you. Last item on the public hearing, I believe, 7G. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission. Conditions constituting property nuisance, including lack of live vegetation ground cover as defined in Cerritos Municipal Code Chapter 6.20, exist at the property located at 18700 block of Gaudeno Avenue, Cerritos. Staff report, please.
That is Officer Jerry's case, and he will brief you on it.
Chair and members of the commission, on May 21st, 2024, staff inspected the property at 18,700 block of Gaudeno Avenue, observing a lack of ground cover in the front lawn of the property. A notification was left at the property providing 21 days to remedy the violation. June 24th, 2024, an inspection revealed no compliance with the notification being mailed. July 18th and August 2nd, inspections also revealed no compliance with a third and a fourth notification being mailed. Inspections between October 29th through January 3rd revealed no compliance with notifications being mailed thereafter. The property was posted for PPC January 14th. I was eventually contacted by the property owner January 24th, several days after posting. She did state that she planned on hiring a landscaper to come and sort of price whatever it would take for her to be able to remedy the violation. I did suggest that she speak with someone at planning because she wasn't totally sure as to what she was going to do, but still I wanted to recommend a resolution to assure compliance. This completes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments?
No.
All right. Is there anyone here on this item? Please come up. If not, I'll close public hearings comments time for this item. Staff recommendation, please.
Before you tonight is resolution number PPC 2025-07, a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission finding that the property located at the 18,700 block of Gaudeno Avenue constitutes a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code and setting forth a 21-day abatement period thereon. It would be in order to waive further reading and adopt.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you.
Oh, still not going? Oh, it was not me.
5-0, the motion passes.
Thank you. That completes the public hearing session of the meeting. I must apologize. We skipped through approving of the November meeting minutes. So is there a motion to approve minutes?
Move approval.
Second. Thank you.
One outstanding.
Is that no? Sorry.
5-0, the motion passes.
Thank you. At this time, is there any report from the staff?
We did just want to thank the city clerk's office for giving us all that information about the upcoming election here on March 4th. And I wanted to remind everybody about the city's Festival of Friendship that will be at the Los Cerritos Center on Saturday, February 1st from noon to 4. It'll feature a variety of cultural performances on stages that'll be set up in the mall area there. The only other thing is City Hall will be closed on Monday, February 17th in observance of President's Day. That's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you. Anything from the commissioners? No.
Yes.
Yes.
I just would like to extend an invitation to everybody who's watching or here. On February 4th, there will be a candidates forum for the candidates to the Cerritos City Council, sponsored by the La Palma Cerritos branch of the American Association of University Women. It will be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. here in the council chamber. It will also be televised on TV3 and underwritten by the Cerritos City Council, which AEW thanks them very much. We've been doing forums since 1984 for City Council, School Board, Assembly, and State Senate seats. So we have a long record of more than 40 forums. The forum will be rebroadcast on February 5th, 8th, 10th, and 11th. And I forget the times, but if you go to the city website with information about the election or on the TV3 schedule, you will find all of that information and let your friends know. And anybody who's here in person will have the ability to submit questions in writing on 3x5 cards, which has been the way we've always done it. It's a League of Women Voters model that we've followed for over 40 years.
Thank you so much for that information. I think that will be really helpful for all the Cerritos residents, just like myself. Yes. All right. If there's nothing further, then meeting is adjourned.